One of the challenges with storm chasing is these storms can be moving quite quickly and you might be in a dangerous position. So sometimes you literally only have seconds to get the shot. I mean, the preparation for a trip like this starts weeks ahead of actually flying out here in terms of getting things like the data modems that we need to download the internet connected and make sure all of that stuff's working, radio scanners so we can listen to the weather service transmissions and things like that. And so it starts a long time before, and making sure the camera equipment is all working, because there'd be nothing worse than landing here and finding the camera doesn't work. My general interest in the weather is what got me started, wanting to see spectacular thunderstorms and lightning and a tornado. That's certainly what got me started. After that, there's the rush, the thrill of the chase. The uncertainty is like you won't see something every single day, so you never know what each day will be. When it all pays off and you're in the right place at the right time, it's a hell of a rush because it's taken a lot of work to get there. And then there is the danger element. So it's that wanting to see nature, wanting to see storms, and the thrill seeker element side of it. The two come together to make a pretty powerful drug that's quite addictive. There's a tremendous amount of ups and downs when you go storm chasing. You'll have days where you could drive 500 miles and you see a bolt of lightning. And in fact, actually that might be a really good result sometimes. You just see blue sky sometimes. So those days are really disappointing, a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of driving, you get very tired and you see nothing. And then the next day, it can be a dramatic day with a violent thunderstorm, gigantic hailstones, lightning, and possibly even tornadoes, and then it all becomes worthwhile suddenly. A good storm chaser is a lot of different things, so you need to have at least a basic understanding of the meteorology. So if you're going to be able to pick the best place to go, get to that place at the right time, then you need to understand the weather and how the weather works. You also need to be a good navigator, because you're trying to find your way around back roads, dirt roads, country roads, and all of those things. You've got to be able to read a map and navigate. And I think you just need to have a passion for the weather. So I'm up normally at 7 o'clock in the morning, poring over the weather data so that I know what we're going to do for the rest of the day. It's no one thing. I think in me, it's a sense of adventure, of wanting to see things I haven't seen before, to experience new sights and sounds. And every time I go storm chasing, I see different things, I hear different things. No two storms are ever the same. And it's that there's a thrill seeker element, definitely. You want that rush of seeing a tornado, seeing the lightning, seeing the storm. Storms that are staying connected regardless. They were one storm, one split off, and they're staying connected. When I first started storm chasing, one of the things that we were actually paid to do was to collect hailstones for Boeing, because some of these hailstones get up to an enormous size, the size of tennis balls or baseballs. And Boeing wanted to test aircraft engines for hail damage. So we were actually paid to carry a freezer in the back of one of the vans that we used to use. And we would go in behind these storms, and it would help fund the storm chasing, collecting these gigantic hailstones. And then Boeing would fire them at jet engines and aeroplanes to see what damage they did, because compared to normal ice, they're actually sometimes very jagged, and they're very, very hard, very dense and very solid compared to an ordinary ice cube. I kind of get a connection perhaps then with ancient people. They wouldn't have understand these things like we do today. Modern people understand what makes these things happen. And they would have looked up at the sky and seen lightning, tornadoes, shelf clouds, and all of these weird things that we see when we go storm chasing, or the northern lights. Mother Nature doing something that man simply can't stop. We can't control this. And to see that spectacle of that full force of Mother Nature is always fascinating. One of the challenges with storm chasing is these storms can be moving quite quickly sometimes, and you might be in a dangerous position. So sometimes you literally only have seconds to get the shot. And people don't actually think they believe me when I tell them that, you know, you've got maybe 20 seconds to get a shot. And that's from the point that the vehicle stops to actually getting the camera out of the back of the car, tripod set up, grab the shot, 10 seconds of shot, throw the tripod back in the car and go again. Because if a storm's moving at 30 miles an hour, in that 30 seconds, it's a mile closer. By the time you've stopped and parked and everything else, it's a mile closer to you. So you have to keep moving all of the time to keep ahead of the storm. So you only have moments to grab the shots. Literally I'm pulling it out of the bag, turning it on while I'm running over with the tripod to set the tripod up. Camera's going onto the tripod while I'm extending the legs, and it's all happening really, really fast. The very first tornado I saw was certainly one of the biggest and most violent tornadoes that I've seen. It was between 1/2 and 3/4 of a mile wide F4 tornado. I've seen other F4 tornadoes as well that have been of similar sizes, but we were very, very close to that first one. We were probably within a mile of it. And the wind was absolutely phenomenal where we were standing, and the violence of that storm was very apparent. And though I've seen a lot of different tornadoes since, that was definitely the most violent that I've been close to.
This severe thunderstorm will be near. It clave around 5:30.
So if I was doing it all again, I go back to my younger self actually, and I say, don't change anything. Just follow your dreams. Do what you want to do. Don't worry too much about the money. Yes, obviously we have to pay our bills and mortgage and have a place to live and things like that, but money isn't the end goal. So long as you've got enough money to live on, for me the end goal is enjoying life. And I'm incredibly lucky in that I have really, really enjoyed my life because I've followed my dreams and done what I wanted to do.